Zubat, the Bat Pokemon. Welcome everyone, I'm Exceptional and I hope you are too. In this video I will be attempting to beat Pokemon FireRed, including the Round 2 Elite Four, with a solo Zubat that will be allowed to evolve. There are further details in the description, but my main rules are, I can only use my starter in battle, no items in trainer battles except held items, no glitches, exploits, or RNG manipulations, and concerning accuracy moves, my general feeling is yuck. Zubat starts with only Leech Life, a 20 base power bug move that will heal us for 50% of the damage that we deal. Pair that with our starting base stat total of 245, with our standout stats and attack at a whopping 45 and speed at 55. Defensively, we're very frail with only 35 in defense and 40 in HP, which does not bode well for Brock. In fact, the proof that the struggle is real comes with an early game battle against Bugcatcher Anthony. The damage output of Leech Life is so low that I've been using Struggle as it's safer. But safe is a relative term as we take our first reset from a trainer with 2 Caterpies at level 7 and 8. All things considered, we are starting with a Zubat. This was to be expected. After clearing the forest, I come to the gym to test my luck against Camper Liam in Brock's gym. He leads with a Geodude that's 2 levels lower than Brock's, so I thought it'd be a nice test of strength. It's clear that we are not prepared. As I start my grind against wild Pokemon, the question is, what is it going to take to get through Brock? At level 11, we're sporting a moveset of Leech Life, Astonish, and Supersonic. At level 16, though, we learn Bite. Bite gives us a few advantages. First, it's a Dark-type move, so it deals neutral damage against Rock types, but more importantly, in Generation 3, all Dark moves deal special damage. Zubat's special attack is its lowest stat at only 30, but Brock's Pokemon do not have good special defense stats either. Partway through grinding, I realized that I should be working smarter, so I backtracked to the patch of grass just west of Viridian on Route 22. The experience yields are about equivalent over here, but we grind primarily against Spearow and Rattata that give speed EVs, and Mankey that give attack EVs. These are going to be our primary stats throughout the run, so if I'm grinding wild battles, then I might as well be getting the EVs that I want. I also went with the Brave Nature to increase attack and decrease speed. I have a sneaking suspicion that there won't be much that we don't outspeed, despite the 10% reduction. Now at level 16, armed with Bite, the Brock fight goes much differently. It went from a chip fest while watching Zubat's health slowly fall to being able to two-shot the Geodude. Onix is the scarier Pokemon though. We get some good hits in with Bite, which is looking like it's going to need 4 hits for the knockout. Onix misses a Rock Tomb, and we get a 30% chance flinch from Bite. When it does hit a super effective stab Rock Tomb against us though, it's clear why we needed Bite's damage. We take down Onix and we're finally moving on from Brock. In Mount Moon, I grab the Helix Fossil because it's faster, because it's directly in front of me, and controlling things at 4 times game speed can be tricky. Did you catch it? The 4-minute jump on the clock and increase in reset counter? Yeah, Zubat is over-leveled after training for Brock, but it's still a Zubat. Against Misty, I really don't know what to expect. I clear both trainers in her gym and decide to test the waters against her. After a few turns though, it's clear that we can't even take out the Staryu yet. So let's see how the Rival 2 battle goes. Pidgeotto is reasonably tanky and loves using Sand Attack, Squirtle is bulky with special moves, and even the Rattata with its priority Quick Attack is kinda threatening. Well, let's see how it goes. Turn 1 I use Bite and oh no, that isn't doing much damage at all. And Pidgeotto used a Sand Attack too? Well, that about sets the tone for this battle at this level. Pidgeotto knocks us out with Zubat not making it by his first Pokemon. Well, it's back to the grass, this time with the added benefit of Mankey and Ekans providing attack EVs. I want to grind to level 21 for our next level up move, Wing Attack. This move will provide us with a 60 base power, 90 with stab or same type attack bonus, physical move at long last. With our upgraded moveset, we face down Rival 2 again, and I decided to play for safety going for Supersonic to try and avoid some sand attacks. This doesn't really work out, but after seeing how much damage my first Wing Attack does, we just need to go full offense. After Pidgeotto falls, Abra is an easy one-shot. Rattata manages to get some chip damage in because of our accuracy being lowered, but faints as well. So, remember when I got hit by 2 sand attacks? Out of 7 turns, Zubat misses 5 of them, allowing Squirtle to whittle down our health for another reset. That's okay though, I know we've got this. In the next battle, I'm coming out of Pidgeotto only having been hit by 1 sand attack, but with only 14 health. So I make the big brain play of using Leech Life against Abra to recover for free. Leech Life isn't doing enough damage against Rattata to be worth it, so I finish it with a wing attack. Against Squirtle, I foolishly go for Supersonic, missing, while Squirtle hits us with Water Gun, taking Zubat to 9 hit points. But on the next turn, we hit a critical wing attack and take down the turtle. Roadblock number 2, overcome. Shortly after, at level 22 on Nugget Bridge, Martha evolves into Golbat. If you're wondering why I used that name, it's because you never know when invoking the name Martha will advance you in the plot. Evolving into Golbat gives us a decent boost to our stats across the board, the most notable being the increase in our primary attacking stat going from 45 to 80. This in combination with our stab wing attack should mean that the game gets significantly easier for a while. This time against Misty, it's a completely different battle. Her lead Staryu comes out and we knock it out with a single wing attack. Starmie is out and with 1 wing attack, 2 wing attacks, we take the victory. Just like that, a single move and an evolution rockets us ahead in the plot. On the SSN, Rival 3 demonstrates how much of a power upgrade we've recently had. His Pidgeotto now barely survives a single wing attack while hitting us with a gust for only 8 damage. A second wing attack takes it down. Both Kadabra and Raticate are clean one-shots with wing attack, bringing us to the mighty Wartortle. But with 2 uses of wing attack, it too falls, with Martha having barely lost any HP. I'm a little scared of the problem that Lieutenant Surge could cause for us. We do, after all, have a type disadvantage, and our best move against him is resisted. So I equip my Cherry Berry, take a deep breath, and challenge Surge. His Leap Voltorb is rarely threatening, with mostly the capacity to annoy. It seems to be taking about half damage from our wing attack. A second one takes it down, with it managing to only do about a quarter to us. Pikachu is out, but with its frail defenses falls to a single wing attack. Learning Confuse Ray was perfect timing in this battle, as it's way more reliable than Supersonic. I use it against his Ace Raichu to cut its consistency. I use a wing attack, which in combination with the self-damage from Confusion brings Raichu below half. After a few more turns and static activating consuming our berry, we take down the evolved Electric Mouse and take our 3rd gym badge. Our next major progression point happens in Celadon. I go through Route 9, Rock Tunnel, and do the Celadon chores as usual. This time though, I'm heading straight for Erica. I also grab the coin case just in case. I follow the left path in her gym for attack EVs and begin the battle. Golbat was built to defeat Erica. I have a Cherry Berry equipped just in case the Victory Bell survives and uses Stun Spore. Even only 3 levels above it though, a single wing attack takes it down. Golbat resists grass moves by a factor of 4 and brings Stab Wing Attack to the table. Tangela also falls to 1, bringing us to Vileplume that survives with a sliver, putting us to sleep. Vileplume's Acid does barely anything to us as we knock it back to red after she heals and then take it down the following turn. An easy 4th badge giving us access to Giga Drain. In the Rocket Hideout, the Giovanni battle gives us the first example of why I wanted Giga Drain so quickly. It provides a super effective move against the upcoming rock and ground types while also providing us with recovery. Much better than Leech Life. Rival 4 in Pokemon Tower is incredibly straightforward with this moveset. Pidgeotto, Exeggcute, and Kadabra all fall in one shot. His Growlithe intimidates us, allowing it to survive with a sliver, but on the next turn we take it down too. Against Wartortle we can use Giga Drain, which provides recovery, and a move that isn't affected by Intimidate. Next I enter Sylph, collecting all of the high-value items, but skipping the majority of the trainers. There are better experience yields elsewhere that will provide more attack EVs. I also won't be facing Rival 5 yet because, well, yeah right at this moment. After getting what I wanted in here, I leave and go to the Fighting Dojo for the additional training. While here, our Golbat evolves into Crobat, meaning that we're now at maximum friendship with Martha. Now that we've reached our final form, we see another boost in all stats, bringing our primary attacking stat to 90. Yeah, you see that base speed, 135? That's why I went with a Brave Nature. In a solo playthrough, that much speed is simply not required. I pass through Cycling Road only grabbing the hidden items and battling the required trainers. I clear the Safari Zone and teach Substitute in front of the Kangaskhan out front. That brings us to our 5th gym leader, Koga. Koga can't do anything that's outright scary to us. Our worst case scenario is our accuracy gets trashed and we're chipped away over time. To avoid that, I establish a sub turn 1 and then deal with the first coughing. Muck is his troll Pokemon, being defensive, loving to use Minimize, and using Acid Armor to increase its tankiness even further. Upon reviewing the footage, I feel like Aerial Ace would have been a better option than Wing Attack for the mid-game. The same base power, but with the addition that it can never miss. Against Coughing 2, I get our sub back, and thank goodness, as it uses Self-Destruct, which would have taken us out. Wheezing looks to be a 3-shot, so I decide to just go for it, exchanging some turns back and forth, with Wheezing bringing us down to only 6 HP as we take the victory. Next stop, Rival 5. I set up a sub turn 1 to try and avoid any sand attacks that may be coming my way. By the time we take down the Pidgeot, our sub has tanked 2 wing attacks without breaking, which is nice information. Exeggcute, Alakazam, and Growlithe all get one-hit KO'd. Blastoise is tanky enough to survive a few hits from us, but in this battle its moveset is absolute garbage, so we take the victory. At first glance, you'd think that Martha would have a serious disadvantage against Sabrina. We aren't very defensive and special, and we have a type weakness. In reality though, Crobat is a fast, physical attacker, so we end up defeating all 4 of her Pokemon with a single shot each. For Badge 7, we have to face down Blaine, the fire leader. His lead Growlithe will always hit and intimidate against us, putting us at a disadvantage from the start. I proceed through my initial battle, knocking down Blaine's Pokemon one by one until Arcanine hits the field with Crobat at only 38 health. This battle proved to be a little too much. I know that we're going to need some additional training eventually, so I decide to do some now. I loop back to Cycling Road to clear out all of the trainers. During this time, my Meowth Cheer Squad also managed to pick up TM10 Hidden Power. For the Zubat line, I chose HP Rock because Rock is just such an amazing physical, offensive type in Red. Growlithe and Ponyta now both fall in one shot each. Rapidash breaks our sub, which I'm going to prioritize keeping up. I want to be behind one when Arcanine comes out so I can avoid the second Intimidate. I manage to achieve this and the mighty Fire Doggo falls in 2, giving us the Volcano Badge. I clear all of the trainers in Giovanni's gym before challenging the final gym leader. Against Rhyhorn, I suspect it wants to use Scary Face, so I set up a sub turn 1 for free. With the power of Giga Drain, we one-shot it and heal to full while behind our sub. He then sends in his second Rhyhorn, which suffers the same fate. Dugtrio falls to a single wing attack, and then each of the Nidos take 2 to finish off. Neither can do much against us, as their best move, Earthquake, can't touch us. Rival 6, the gatekeeper to the league, is a very similar fight to Rival 5, only powered up. So I follow the same strategy. Pidgeot falls and then Alakazam comes out, surviving our wing attack with a sliver. It breaks our sub, but because we're faster, I take it down. I use Rhyhorn to get our sub back up and heal up a bit, and then Growlithe falls in 1 as well. Blastoise looks like it will be a 3-shot, but again, with a terrible moveset, it can't do much against us. Maybe it can though. After setting up the rain, its base 40 power water guns are insta-breaking our subs. Good to know. We take it down and the following Exeggcute is another easy KO. We are off to the league. Lorelei is going to be a problem for Crobat. Thankfully, because of our choice of HP Rock, we do have a super effective attack against her. Dugong falls in 2, allowing us to try for some strategy against Slowbro. Before it sets up Amnesia, I want to use Giga Drain to get some health back. It also loves using Yawn, so as long as we have the sub up, we should be safe. I misclick against Jinx, allowing it to survive wing attack and break our sub with an Ice Punch. Not a big deal as we take it down, but we're now exposed for Lapras. Our HP Rock seems to be doing about half, but she's doing way more than that to us with Ice Beam. We fall. In the next battle, we return to Lapras in good shape. I want to attempt to outdamage it here, which looks to be possible, unless we get frozen. Another reset. I reset several more times and decided to do some more training, clearing out the majority of the trainers on Route 15, Route 14, and even into Route 13 in separate trips. Eventually, at level 65, after using 2 rare candies, we find our way through Lorelei. Because of our increased bulk and damage output, we make it back to Lapras behind a sub. HP Rock is now doing well over half, so when her Citrus Berry activates, we are still able to get the 2-shot. Which I don't go for? Well, I wasted some PP and some time, but after Lapras falls, the Cloyster is an easy 1-shot. Bruno, on the other hand, should be a cakewalk for Crobat. Against his lead Onix, I establish a sub for safety, recover the lost health with Giga Drain, and then between Giga Drain for his other Onix and Wing Attack for the rest, Martha cleans house with a little extra pizzazz. Agatha should also prove to be no worries for Crobat. We absolutely outspeed her lead Gengar, and with a sub up, it can only hit us with Shadow Punch, using its atrocious physical attack stat. The whole remaining fight passes without us feeling threatened in the slightest. Dragon Master Lance scares me a little. His lead Gyarados will always intimidate us, so Crobat will be at a -1 attack to start the battle. I decide to check the damage of Giga Drain to assess our recovery option. Bad. HP Rock is the way to go. We outspeed Aerodactyl, taking it to half with HP Rock as it hits a scary face, reducing our speed by 2 stages. Now outspeeding us, Aerodactyl hits a big ancient power before we take it down. Because of our speed being dropped and our damage ranges not quite being what they need to be, we end up getting paralyzed and eventually knocked out by Dragonair. I reset a few more times before using one rare candy to bring us up to level 68 and over a damage rounding threshold. At this level, and with some experience with Crobat vs Lance, we find our way through the battle. Most importantly is that going over that damage rounding threshold now allows us to 2-shot the Dragonairs, keeping them under control. I reset once against the champion, again because of bad damage ranges, use 2 rare candies to bring Crobat to level 70, and try again. Setting up a sub against Pidgeot is key to avoid Sand Attack. Alakazam and Rhydon are both 1-shots, using Giga Drain on Rhydon to recover. Executor survives 1 hit from us, but can't do much to us with a sub on the field. Sleep Powder is its most threatening move. Blastoise is last, and all I can hope for is that we do more damage and heal enough from Giga Drain to take it out before it takes us out. For reference of how dangerous this Blastoise can be is that in the rain, its Hydro Pump does around 3/4 of our health. It doesn't set up the rain until it's too late though, so we take the victory. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. After solving Lorelei, the rest of the league wasn't horrible, but round 2 is always another story. Crobat clocks in with a round 1 time of 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 24 seconds at level 71 with 18 resets. This took 7 hours and 14 minutes of game time. As we work our way through the Sevi Islands towards the round 2 Elite Four, I have a funny thing to mention about Crobat's Learn Set. Our highest power available stab move in the game is now available in TM36 Sludge Bomb. The funny thing though, I try really hard to use it in the upcoming league, but poison moves just aren't that great offensively in FireRed. We come into round 2 Lorelei at level 75. Our HP Rock seems to be doing really good damage against Dugong as it sets up double teams, but we knock it down with it only breaking our sub. Against Cloyster, I forget that this one doesn't stall like her round 1 variant, so I waste a turn trying to set a sub up. Cloyster then falls to a single Giga Drain. Jinx is outta here in 1 shot, and against Lapras it looks like we're doing just over half damage. Perfect. This Lapras does not have a Citrus Berry, so after tanking a heavy hit from Ice Beam, we take it down. Last is Piloswine that looks like it's going to be a 3-shot. That is, unless he scores a critical hit Blizzard at the last moment, taking down Martha. On the next attempt, we find ourselves in a similar situation coming into Piloswine. This time though, the power of Giga Drain is real, and we manage to take it down. Having Lorelei behind us is a big weight off. Round 1 Bruno was a piece of cake, but round 2 Bruno is a different story. We relied on Giga Drain to get us through the Onyxes, but now against Steelix the damage has really fallen off. They also resist our stab wing attack and quad resist HP Rock. We end up taking a bit too much damage and the Hitmonlee takes us out. Here's when I came up with a solution that I'm actually quite proud of. We have an extra copy of TM10 Hidden Power, so we can sacrifice that move for something else. Something else being TM47 Steel Wing. Since no move stood out to me as a good damage option, I figured I would go for Sustain instead. Against Steelix, it's a chip fest anyways, so now using Steel Wing, we have a 10% chance to increase our defense by 1 stage each time we use it. It takes a while, but combined with saving our Giga Drains for the recovery on Steelix 2, we make it through. Piece of cake. Agatha is a pretty straightforward fight again in round 2. We can take some big hits here, make no mistake, but we are a fast, hard-hitting physical attacker that despite taking some damage along the way can carve through her team. Dragon Doctoral Lance stands as a daunting battle to overcome. Against his lead Gyarados, you can see me struggling with my move choice as there just doesn't seem to be a great option. Behind our sub, we have time on our side, but not forever. Lance senses this too and switches into Kingdra, who starts attempting to set up against us. It breaks our sub, but we do manage to take it down. Dragonite is out and has both Thunderbolt and Ice Beam on its moveset, showcasing them both against us. The Ice Beam hits, taking us down to 69 health, nice, but also getting a freeze, not nice. These dragons are just a little bit too much to handle and we fall. I reset another 6 times here, incrementally increasing our level with the rare candies that we collected over damage rounding thresholds. Finally, at level 85 we have this battle. I'm back to using HP Rock, so against Gyarados we sub and take it out in 2 shots. Kingdra is a 3-shot now and gets greedy against us, trying to set up to +3 with Dragon Dance as we take it out on the 3rd round. From there, this fight is a race to the finish. No messing around trying to min-max health with subs, just pure damage versus damage. As the final HP Rock hits and the Dragonite falls, we look ahead to our final challenge. The Round 2 champion has an incredibly diverse and powerful team. Against the lead Heracross, I know that it wants to use Rock Tombs. In this battle, I want to test my range, so I fire off a 4-time super effective Aerial Ace. It gets the job done in 1 shot. Exeggutor is next and things get a little dangerous. I attempt to sub, but it breaks it immediately with Psychic. Then I decide to forego the sub and go for damage as it uses, and thankfully misses, a Sleep Powder. Then the champ wastes healing items as we knock it down low until we knock it out. Alakazam is a big gamble without a sub out. All we can do is go for damage and hope that it doesn't use Psychic. It uses Calm Mind and then enters a healing loop until we knock it down. Phew! Blastoise is out and this thing is a tank. It's looking like we'll need 3 shots to take it down, but after it sets up the rain, it fires off a big Hydro Pump, bringing us from full all the way down to 62 health. We knock it out on the next turn, but we are definitely in a rougher position for the rest of the battle. Tyranitar is out and all I can do is try to outlast it with Giga Drain as it hits Thunderbolt after Thunderbolt. Unfortunately, the Sandstorm damage kicks up and takes down the last of our health. I wipe 4 more times here as I refine my strategy. Here's what I've come up with. Against Heracross, our sub will survive 1 Rock Tomb, so I can get a sub out for free before knocking it out. Exeggutor is then solved, as on turn 1 we chip with HP Rock while it either Sleep Powders ineffectively against our sub or Psychics, in which case we just put a new sub out. Sleep Tactics in this battle, so we knock it down with Aerial Ace. Alakazam will always enter a heal loop, but coming out of Exeggutor with a sub protects us in the event that it uses Psychic, which it does here. After the first turn though, because we outspeed, he either faints or heals until he faints. Against Blastoise, all we want to do is knock it down as fast as we can. I save using a Giga Drain until the last hit so that when it goes down we leave Blastoise at 239 health. Decent. Against Tyranitar, it's the same story. Outlast and hope that we don't get paralyzed. It takes 3 Giga Drains to take it down, but once again we're coming out in green health. Arcanine is last and intimidates us, but that's okay. I know I'm not going to one-shot it, so I set up a sub giving us protection from Overheat. We can use Overheat against him, as every time it hits, Arcanine will lose 2 special attack stages. He misses the first and breaks our sub with the second, but at this point he's 1 shot away from defeat. Our last HP Rock takes him down. In the post-match, I discuss the battle with our rival. After exchanging some words, we part as unlikely allies. It turns out his Zubat's name is Martha too. Crobat clocks in with a round 2 time of 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 46 seconds at level 86 with 34 resets. This took 8 hours and 59 minutes of game time. Okay, decent, but we all know I can do better than that. Let's jump into the second playthrough. First things first, we have to deal with our pre-Brock grind. I start by venturing into Viridian Forest to clear the trainers and collect all of the potions that I can. I then come back to Viridian, spend all of my money on more potions, and go to my little patch of grass. Yes, that is a reset already against one of the bug catchers. We finish our grind at level 16 and enter the Brock fight at around 22 minutes. Even with the better move and higher level though, this fight is not guaranteed. We take our second reset against Onix. In the next battle though, despite how sketchy things get against the Onix, we do manage to get through and move forward with the game. This puts us around 6 minutes ahead of when we defeated Brock last playthrough. I then spend some time clearing extra trainers so that when we're near the end of Mount Moon, we level up to 21 against Super Nerd Miguel, giving us access to Wing Attack without more wild grinding. Rival 2 is fairly easy, and right after that we evolve into Golbat, allowing us a lot more comfort and ease moving throughout the next section of the game. From there, I defeat Misty, Surge, and Erica. I enter the Rocket Hideout at around 53 minutes. Last run we were at this point at around an hour and 3 minutes, so we're still gaining time, now about 10 minutes ahead. We continue along the Rocket plotline, clearing Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, then heading to Sylph. Brace yourselves, something bad is about to happen. I'm cruising through Sylph, grabbing items, when all of a sudden this guy snags me. Magnemites and Magnetons are, I think, the only Pokemon that we don't hit for neutral damage. They resist all of our moves, and Crobat is weak to electric. On top of that, they love to confuse and paralyze you. We end up wiping here, but when did I last save? All the way back before Rival 4? Oh, so frustrating. Always save, man, always. That ends up being a 6-minute time loss for Crobat, and I almost reset the run here. But time didn't allow it, so we pressed on. I re-clear Sylph and clear the fighting dojo in Saffron. Now we're on Cycling Road, where I will defeat every trainer. I also stopped in the Vermilion City Pokemon Center for the first time in, like, forever. Not to heal, of course, but we might as well while we're here. I want to talk to this cool trainer. She gives us the Versus Seeker. The Versus Seeker allows you to ping the area around your character to see if anyone wants to have a rematch. Essentially, you can rebattle the same trainers over and over, with the catch being that you have to charge the Seeker with a certain number of steps taken. Steps can be acquired while riding the bike though, so these trainers at the top of Cycling Road will be where we do a lot of grinding. The trainers here are dense, with reasonable experience yields that also yield a lot of attack EVs, which I want all the extra points that we can muster to go into. After grinding, we're level 50 and one of our Meowths found us TM10 Hidden Power. We've, of course, gone with Rock again. With the extra levels and the addition of both HP Rock and Substitute, Rival 5 is a cakewalk. We defeat Sabrina, then Koga, followed by Blaine, and finally Giovanni. I also defeated every trainer in both the 7th and 8th gyms. Rival 6 was as easy as Rival 5, so after a quick boulder puzzle solving adventure in Victory Road, we arrive at the League. We defeated the 8th gym at 1 hour 39 minutes and 7 seconds, compared to last run at 1 hour 40 minutes and 22 seconds. Despite our flub not saving earlier and the massive amount of additional grinding that we did in the mid-game, we're still over 1 minute ahead. Against Lorelei, we start by establishing a sub. We're doing really great damage with HP Rock, so we blast down the Dugong in 2 after she heals. Slowbro I use for some recovery, and wow, look at that Giga Drain damage. Just over half? We recover to full as Slowbro sets up Amnesia. To my happy surprise, she does not heal, and we take it down with another 2 wing attacks. Jinx gets 1 shot, and against Lapras we're doing over half. Her Citrus Berry activates after she confuses us, but we hit through on the next turn, taking her down. Against Cloyster, I play badly. I should have gone for Giga Drain right off the bat, but instead I play around with it for a minute. That could have gone much worse. Bruno 1 is a joke, so we're at Agatha. We outspeed and set up a sub which almost nullifies this Gengar. It sets up double team while we take it out. Haunter is a 1-shot, her Ace Gengar is a 2-shot, and then Golbat comes out surviving HP Rock with a sliver. But we quickly clean it up, knock out Arbok, and that's Agatha. I reset against Lance 3 times before slapping the stubborn troll that lives in my head, and using 5 rare candies bring us to level 70 and an elixir. We can afford it. With our PP restored, I can use the Aerodactyl to recover, as most of what it tries to do is lower our speed ineffectively. We come out of Aerodactyl with 215 out of 227 health, and at this level, the 2 Dragonairs are comfortable 2-shots. His Ace Dragonite is out and will be a 3-shot, including the heal from his Citrus Berry. Turn 2, he fires off a nasty Hyper Beam, but only breaks our sub, guaranteeing the next turn victory as Lance can't heal because Dragonite is recharging. I reset twice against the champion because despite how good this battle looks, things can go badly very quickly, and I got some really bad luck. Sub against Pidgeot keeps us safe from Sand Attack. Alakazam falls to 1 Wing Attack, and Rhydon graciously tops off our health, going down to a single Giga Drain. Executor gets chipped with HP Rock, trying to Sleep Powder our sub, then knocked out by Wing Attack. Arcanine breaks our sub with a Flamethrower, but because we outspeed, we knock it down in 2 without suffering any damage. Blastoise time. We Wing Attack turn 1, and this will be a very comfortable 3-shot. Unless of course we get a crit and knock it out on turn 2, Crobat defeats the champion at full health. Alright, so we beat round 1 in under 2 hours. I'm feeling good, but the hardest challenge still lies ahead. Crobat clocks in with a round 1 time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 30 seconds at level 72 with 10 resets. This took 6 hours and 27 minutes of game time. Jumping immediately back into the league, we face round 2 Lorelei. Dugong breaks our sub the second we put it out, but after we resub turn 2, it starts going for its usual double team tactics. Every hit we take it back to red bar, so eventually it falls. Cloyster is next and survives our Giga Drain with barely a sliver. We've had a lot of those this run. We take it out, then one-shot Jinx with HP Rock. Lapras is taking about half, but this time doesn't have a Citrus Berry. Ice Beam breaks our sub, but our next hit takes it out. Piloswine is out, and we hit a crit Giga Drain, bringing it down to a sliver. Another sliver! It can't out-damage us though, so after a few more turns, we drop it. A great part of all that mid-game grinding is that it did in fact end up giving us a second copy of TM10 Hidden Power. So with that flexibility, we deleted HP Rock to teach Steel Wing. I love that this works. It takes a minute, but we chip it down slowly, increasing our defense with Steel Wing and healing with Giga Drain. Hitmonchan, 1-shot. Hitmonlee, 1-shot. Machamp, 1-shot. Against Steelix 2, it's the same back and forth as before, but with one problem: we run out of Giga Drains. It takes a while, but Steelix drops Crobat. So before the next battle, I use an Ether to restore a whole 4 PP, but what the heck, right? We get back to Steelix 2, and with plenty of recovery to spare, we take it down this time. Agatha's lead Gengar breaks our sub with haste. You think that will deter me? I bring up a new sub and one-shot it with Wing Attack. From there though, despite things becoming mildly concerning, only mildly, against her Crobat, the rest of her team falls without any issue at all. In my testing, I found that Dragon Doctoral Lance became consistent at level 85, so I used all of my rare candies, plus the one extra that Meowth found, bringing us to level 86. Now we set up a sub against Gyarados, take it down with 2 HP rocks, and then start on Kingdra. Because of our outrageous speed, it will usually try to set up to +3, but during that time, we take it out. From there, the fight is straightforward, until Aerodactyl hits an Ancient Power, getting an Omni Boost, and then hits a Titanic Hyper Beam, bringing us down to only 51 health. We take it out, and I am definitely worried about this last Dragonite. It goes for Hyper Beam, and misses! We take it out, and we're on to the champion. Spoiler alert, this battle goes like clockwork. Against Heracross, we set up a sub and then take it out with a single Wing Attack. Executor gets chipped while failing a Sleep Powder and then goes down. Alakazam chooses Psychic in this battle, breaking our sub, but we knocked it into heal range, so rinse and repeat until the Psy Pokemon also goes down. Blastoise is a beautiful 3-shot range at this level, including the healing that it takes from its held Citrus Berry. It drops as well. We come into Tyranitar at 267 health and tank his Thunderbolts while getting our 3 Giga Drains in for the KO. No paralysis is awesome. Last is Arcanine, and I'm confident that I can survive an overheat, so I take the hit while taking it below half. We're faster, but even if it hit a cheeky extreme speed, we had this. There goes the battle. Round 2 had some hiccups, but went way smoother than round 1. Note to self, maybe do more testing in round 1. Crobat clocks in with a round 2 time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 33 seconds at level 87 with 11 resets. This took 8 hours and 5 minutes of game time. So let's compare our results. In round 1, we managed to clear the game 15 minutes and 54 seconds faster with 8 less resets, although 1 level higher. In round 2 though, we saved even more time, saving a total of 35 minutes and 15 seconds with 23 less resets and still 1 level higher. All in all, I'm quite pleased with Crobat's performance. I definitely had some mistakes of my own along the journey, but hey, at the end of the day, it's all a process of learning and becoming better overall. I'm going to rank Crobat just above Lantern. Despite the finish that was 1 minute slower, there's definitely a subjective component to this list. I found Crobat to be a much better run, but it lost too much time to the pre-Brock grind. A low place on the list, but definitely not a low place in our hearts. As always, if you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. I have so many things planned that I want to develop and work on for the channel, so I'd love to hear your feedback on how I'm doing, what runs you'd like to see in the future, or just to say hi. Hello! If you feel like I've earned it, please leave a like, a comment, and if you'd like to see more of my content in the future, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Until next time, take care everyone.